first connected with Kim, I was taken aback by her story, and I feel so honored to have Kim here. It's been such a journey, Kim. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it, Ray. I want to piggyback, if I could start real quick about what Diane said, because these meetings every week that we have on Fridays, it's incredible. It was an extension of therapy for me. And so I have to say that it became part of my life, and when these meetings end, I don't know what I'm going to do. So you started something pretty powerful. I really appreciate this. I want to talk a little bit about the first two words of my chapter, my awakening.
Yeah.
And
Before we
yeah,
before we go there, Kim,
yeah.
I would love to do your official introduction to hand
Okay,
it over to
sure. Yeah.
you.
Okay.
I love your energy. I love your zest for life and just this journey that we have had together with all the authors, seeing you go through this healing journey. And I remember when I first met you, I asked you, why do you want to write this book? And you had no other reason, no agenda other than this is the last pillar of my healing journey. And this is what I have to do first for me. I have to share my story. And then over time, obviously, you found new purpose and meaning in your story. But I absolutely love your chapter. So meet Kim Blythe, who is highly accomplished sales visionary, empowerment expert, business trailblazer, and author with over 30 years of experience in real estate and franchise sales. As a president of Jan Pro Franchise Development, Charlotte NC region, Kim stands out for her professional acumen, tenacity, winning persona, and her true boss lady attitude. She's passionate, authentic woman who loves hard and loves often, embodying a unique blend of strength and warmth. And I love that Kim's mission is twofold. One is to diffuse the stigma that makes sexual trauma a taboo topic, while helping women of all ages realize trauma is not a life sentence. Kim, I am excited to hear you speak today. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. That made me feel super special. And coming behind Diane, this is going to be super hard. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate that. That power. So my awakening. I think that those two words have the most meaning for me and hopefully for the audience as well. Something very special, a couple of things actually happened to me while going through a really tough time in my life. And so I'm going to start there, and then I'm going to go backwards a little bit. So I'm going to start with 2023. And I was in Greece. Gosh, that was beautiful. I was in Greece with some friends, and we were on a cruise. And on that cruise, I saw a tattoo parlor. And for those of you on this call that know me, I used to have this rule of no body art, right? But all of a sudden, I decided I'm getting a tattoo. And I'm laying in the bed, I'm looking out on the Aegean Sea, which is completely still, just still. And all of a sudden, a lotus flower pops up. I didn't even really know exactly the symbolism. I just knew it was beautiful. I recognized it. And I said, that's it. That's what I'm going to go do. And off I went to the guy and said, here, I want you to put this on the back of my neck. So I started to understand more about the symbolism of this flower, and it really touched me to understand that. Well, I think we've talked about the lotus flower a couple of times in different sessions today, but it starts out in dark, murky water, and then it eventually blossoms. And that's pretty much what was happening to me, and I was ready to share that. So that was the beginning of one of my awakenings. And to share with you what happened after that was just divine intervention. It really was. I got back from Greece, and I still see my therapist today. And I got back and I went to see Christina. And I think it was in the fall sometime. And she says to me, oh, wow, she says, look at how far you've come in 3 years. I was in therapy for 3 years weekly for my trauma. And we were talking about next steps in my life. And she said, well, what do you want to do? What's the next step? And I had just recently read this book, and it made me think about writing a book. And I said, I don't know, maybe I'll start a foundation, or maybe I'll be involved in an organization, or maybe, just maybe, I'll write a book. I don't know. And so we laughed, and she's writing all of this down. And I said, but I got to think about it. And so I leave, and literally within 4 days, Women Thrive pops up into my world. I was on my business Facebook page, and there it was. I mean, it was just bizarre. Hey, join the summit. So it was the 2023 Author Summit in November is what it was. That was coming up. And I think this was sometime in October or something like that when I joined. And I sat through it, listened through some of them. And then there was an email that came that asked if you were interested in writing. Yeah, I'd like to write. I fill it out. And lo and behold, I'm blessed with this wonderful lady reaching out to me for an interview or a conversation. That's Ray. From that moment on, my life completely changed. So let me take you to share a little bit more about my story. The awakening piece to me equals healing. Okay, so I started with my lotus flower. And the healing that happened from that moment and from when I started writing was incredible. And Christina, my therapist, knows that 3 years with her every week took me places that I never thought I could go. But until I actually put my story down on paper, I don't want to get emotional, but I feel like I'm about to. Until I put my story on paper, it almost felt like it wasn't real. So I did it. And when I put it on paper, it became real. And I was still feeling a lot of shame. I felt a lot of shame. And I really didn't, I had not told anybody for many, many years. I didn't remember anything. So I'll get to that in a moment. But I didn't tell anybody initially. But while I was in this journey of writing, I started to feel empowered, and empowered to not hide it anymore, empowered to share my story, empowered to not hide and to use my voice. So I wrote this story because of, I was very similar to Diane. Diane and I have a lot in common. Everything in my life was about being the best. Never really understood why I was the way I was. I had to be the best at everything that I did. I was very career driven. Nothing wrong with that. But relationships, I sucked at relationships. I mean, I just couldn't get it right. I tried, I couldn't get it right. And so I went through my life, my whole entire life, not really understanding who I really was and why I was the way I was. That was a lot of was's. Fast forward. I go through my life. I finally meet the man of my dreams. He's my rock. Everybody that's on here that knows me knows Mark. Married late in life, children late in life, because remember, I wasn't good at this game. And then this opportunity. 2020. that was a year that really was tough for all of us. And I think in 2020, it opened up a lot for us mentally. That was my year. And that particular year, my abuser also died. That particular year is when I remembered everything that had happened to me as a child. So I was 50 years old, and I was remembering what happened to me as a child for the first time. What do you do with that? You know, what do you do with that? So, so you'll read more in my book. I don't want to give it away. In the chapter, you'll get to read more about how it happened, what it looked like. But I went to a really dark place. I wasn't a great friend. I wasn't a great wife. I actually wasn't a great mother at that time. My husband will say something else, but to realize at 50 years old that you've gone through your entire life wondering why you were the way you were. And then you remember all of a sudden, I didn't know what to do with it. And so I became depressed. I was anxious. I continued to work like crazy. I never stopped. I kept going and going. In the process of buying a business, kept going, had a medical diagnosis that I had to deal with, kept going. And then finally, I couldn't go anymore. And when I couldn't go anymore, I ended up in my room, practically in a ball on my bed. So what I'm going to tell you is that whether you remember or you don't remember, what I want to share with you is that you don't have to go that far. You don't have to get to that point before you can get better. So if all of us probably in this room or on this call today have had something happen to us, have experienced something, and it doesn't matter if it's big, small, medium size. My trauma to me is big. Your trauma to you is big. They're all different. Speak out loud, use your voice, get help, okay? And my husband walks in and hands the iPad to me and says, you need to call her. And that's how it all began. And it was my therapist. And I did. And I've had wonderful 3 years. And I'm on the other side, just like that lotus flower. I am brighter than I've ever been. I am lighter than I've ever been. I feel like there was this really heavy shawl or something made of metal just sitting on my shoulders. It's gone. It's literally gone. So, you know, what I want to tell you and what I want to share with you is that there is nothing that can happen to you that can't be overcome. Trauma is not a life sentence, right? Right? So, don't ever feel that there is no one else like you out there, because there is. There's all of us. There's so many more stories. I mean, Ray's going to probably do volume 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this is going to grow into something big. But I really hope that what happens is when you read this book, you'll reach out and you'll connect with these authors and say, me too, right? I know what you're saying. I know what you're feeling. Hey, ask questions, reach out to us. What can we do? Share more about our journey. I mean, that chapter that you're going to read of mine is just a snippet. There is so much more that I could share. So maybe there'll be another book, Ray. I don't know. We'll have to talk more about that. So my mission is to be a stigma eradicator. That's my new title. I don't want to be president. I don't want to be owner. Been there, done that. I don't want to be the best salesperson. Got all of those awards. I'm over it. I still like to win. I'm still very competitive, but I want to do it in a different way. You know, I have this desire to do something, and Ray knows I've been talking about this for 6 months. And I think that something is speaking, and I think that something is writing again. I actually found joy in it. Sit for hours and write during this process. So I wanted to share a little bit real quick before I have to jump off about the journey. You've heard, if you've been listening, you've heard some of the other authors talking about what happened to them while writing this. And I just shared with you that it was a healing journey. I missed one meeting, and that was for my son on college tours. I didn't care what was going on. I missed one meeting the whole time because it meant that much to me. I'm a new person. So if you are ready to really dig in, because they're going to make you dig. My first draft was like, throw it away pretty much, right? And that's not true. It was like a stream of consciousness. It was for me. It wasn't for you all. And so I had to get to that point where the draft that I was writing was for you all. And that is where it turns. That is when you know that you're getting better, right? It changes. It just turns ever so slightly. So now it's a pay it forward. Now it's a feeling of what can I do for you? So that's just me. I'm just a very simple person. When I did this and I joined the first couple of calls, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a foundation. Oh my gosh, I don't have that business. Oh, I'm not already an author. I don't belong here. It really made me feel that way. But these women are absolutely incredible. And I thank each and every one of you for helping me. I cried a lot, didn't I? I did some crying, and I traveled the world while I was doing it too. I was in Mexico. I was in Vegas. I never missed a meeting. But the journey is absolutely incredible. It will change your life. So if you're thinking about becoming an author with the Women Thrive organization, that's very, very critical, because they will actually teach you, help you, guide you, and support you. And there were a few women in this group that were going through some really tough things outside of what we had already gone through during this time. And you know what Ray and Paige and others said? Take your time. Do what you need to do. Grieve, relax, and rest. So let's do it.
Kim, congratulations. You're officially an author today. You made me feel very emotional sharing that, because we have truly shared an incredible journey together, which I'll never forget. And just being able to hold that space in such a meaningful way. It's not just about, let's get the book out. And my team, a lot of the times, pushes me. We've got deadlines. When is it going to be submission? When can we go to the next phase? And I'm like, I don't care what you guys are telling me. I need to hold space for my authors to emotionally go through this process, because it's no joke. It's not one of those things which is going to hit a deadline. No, it's not. And that's what Kim is talking about, that it's so much more. That's why this book means so much more to each and every one of us. And we will forever continue to champion this book, because these stories have really gone to the depths of it. And Kim, I applaud you for doing what you did. And you've gone into this process without, like I said, any agenda to build a business or build your authority or whatever. You've just gone to share your story, and in the process of uncovering, healing through the final parts of your healing journey of going through trauma, you found purpose. So I want to ask you, what's your newfound purpose beyond the book? How would you like to impact the world with your story?
Wow, that's a great question. My newfound purpose is to really eradicate the stigma, you know, so that's why I said I'm a stigma eradicator. I want to talk about sexual trauma all the time. That's crazy, right? I want people to feel comfortable to talk about it so that you don't live your life thinking that this is all you got, that this is the cards, the hand that you were dealt with. So, because it's an uncomfortable conversation, I think we can all agree on that. But the more we talk about it, the less uncomfortable it gets. So my purpose is to get that message out, right? I want to speak. I want to use my voice and eradicate the stigma surrounding sexual trauma.
And it's not an easy conversation to be had.
Mm-mm.
It takes a lot of guts and courage to do that, to talk about it openly. But I know when we do that, we give permission to somebody else to step forward and say, me too. I've been through that. And if any of these stories relate to you, to your story, your journey, your experience in life, I would like to encourage you to get in touch with our authors. And that's the best way to let them know that they have made an impact. Because, like Kim said, like Diane said, I just want to make an impact on one person. If we can do that, we're already winning. We already achieved our goal. Kim, we're going to see you in London. Are you excited?
Oh, yes, you are. And yes, I am.
I can't
Uh,
wait. What are we going
I
to do there?
know, I know, I know. I'm so excited. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, we're gonna have a blast.
Can't wait to give you a big, big hug. And can I just say publicly how proud I am of you? Just in case I have not told you yet, or
Thank
have
you.
nobody else have told you this process, how truly, truly proud I am for you taking this leap and doing it and really doing it, really being invested in this process because it really matters. And now that we are on the other side of your story being out in the world, the result will be the impact that you will make on the people who are
Yes,
reading the story.
yes, absolutely.
So,
Thank you.
congratulations, Kim.
Thank you so
Today,
much.
you're an author and a speaker.
I know. Yay.
I love your title, Stigma Eradicator. Stick with that. I love it.
Yeah, I like it. Let's get rid of all the other titles. That's all I need.
Because we kept in this process, we kept like asking our authors, what's your title? What's your mission? What's your kind of beyond the book? And Kim was like, I don't know. Just don't ask me that. It's gonna come.
Yeah,
And there you are today with a newfound purpose beyond the business that you already have, beyond the success you already achieved. I believe that our hardships in life and our pivotal moments like that truly give us purpose and meaning. And I'm glad that you have found that in this
I
process
have.
and this journey.
I have. And, you know, one more thing I'll say that I really wanted to mention when I talked about the healing that I had with my mother, the healing that I had with my sister, that all happened this year while I was writing. And I cannot begin to tell you what an impact that has made for my relationship with both of them, right? So you just never know what's gonna come out of this. You just don't.
It's a ripple effect. You're making
It
me emotional
is.
again.
It is.
It's a huge ripple effect. Huge. Okay, very
Okay.
quickly. Does anybody want to come on just to congratulate Kim? Maybe somebody want to just come
Kim, you
and give
did
her her
wonderful.
flowers.
Absolutely wonderful. I mean, it was so touching what you said, about dealing with trauma and facing it and then being willing to help others. You can't ask for anything more because we are traumatized by, like you said, so many different things. And for you to be willing to put yourself out there, you know, I really appreciate what you've done. I really do. I appreciate that from the bottom of
Thank
my
you,
heart.
Stephanie. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
live in the same city. We haven't met yet, which is really crazy. I don't, right? We live in the same
And we've
city.
been so
I know.
busy.
I know. I know. Well, we're meeting. We are.
We are, yes.
Now that
Amen.
we're finished writing, yes.
Yes, yes.
You guys, well, okay. Anybody else? Maybe somebody. Thank you, Stephanie, by the way. We are going to see Stephanie right up in just a few moments. But if anybody wants to say anything, maybe you're here to support Kim and you would like to come on, let us know. It's like,
From one survivor to the next, thank you. It was great. Well done. Well done.
Oh, you are so sweet. Thank you guys. Hey, thank you for helping me figure out my background too. I'm like Diane, I have a hard time with technology. Thank you.
Our pleasure. You did wonderful.
Thank you.
amazing. Thank you,
That's the team that's been here helping for 2 weeks. I told you I was going a little crazy. They're amazing. I have someone helping us with a new CRM. So yeah.
Amazing. Kristen, do we have you possibly being able to unmute?
I think I unmuted myself. This is Trisha.
Hi, Trisha, come on up.
I've known Kimmy our entire life, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you, honey. I've known her since we were like 7. Little. Yeah.
Anybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Trisha.
Kim, this is your husband.
Oh, hey, husband.
Just reminding you to make sure you let everybody know how to reach out to you on your new platform that's been developed. And great job, by the way.
Thank you, honey. Do you pop that up, Ray? Do you pop up the link tree, the Strength and Voices? You can do the link tree, Kim Blythe, but I do have a new platform, Strength and Voices, which I've had some amazing, incredible support from our marketing team, and a friend of mine has helped me with that. So that is the beginning. See, I started it, the Strength and Voices. We'll develop a website, and but I have Instagram and Facebook, and you can always get in touch with me through LinkedIn. But the link tree will get you to all of those different places.
I don't have it handy at this moment,
No,
but if you wouldn't mind, pop it in the chat. That would be amazing. And do tell us how to connect with you.
Yeah, so it's the link tree, linktr.ee, right? And then the / Kim /Blythe.
Amazing. Pop it in a chat.
I'll pop it in.
Yeah, certainly. Oh, Kim, thank you so much. Thanks to the
Thank
husband
you.
for being so
Thanks,
thoughtful.
husband.
And we look forward to seeing Kim very soon again. And if you're in London, you gotta come to our meet and greet with our authors for sure.